Now we are going to solve a numerical problem for the perfectly competitive market. The problem is given as follows. Suppose the marginal cost function of a perfectly competitive firm is MC equal to 0.4 Q. What is the additional information? Additional information is that the market price of the product that it produces, here who is this it? This it is nothing but the perfectly competitive firm. This is the perfectly competitive firm. The perfectly competitive firm, what the product they sells, the price of the product is rupees 60. So we can write here the price of the product is 60. Now what is the question they asked? The question is that what will be the profit maximizing price? So profit maximizing price, if we want to identify the cases, that we have to first consider that what is the market condition. In this case, the market condition is what? In this case, the market condition is the perfect competition. Perfect competition. Now, in perfect competition, or in the market structure of perfect competition, firm is a individual firm is price taker. Individual firm is price taker. That means he cannot determine the price. He cannot determine the what will be the price of the product that he wants to sell. Let us take an example. Suppose in this case, if the individual firm charges rupees 65, since he is dealing with the homogeneous products, definitely a consumer, if a consumer comes to this farm and asks the price and the farm says that it is rupees 65, he will go from this farm. Why? Because the homogeneous product means same product is available with his competitors and the price is rupees 60. So definitely this farm, if he charges extra, he will not be able to make the transaction happen. So what will be the case? He has to sell it at the price of 60. So what is the 60? The profit maximizing price. Then profit maximizing price is also 60. If we look at the other condition is that if he charges less than 60, then what will happen? Then the other competitors will see the same and he can also charge lesser price. So if they charge lesser price, firm will not find any advantage because of charging less. Rather, what will happen? They will all the firms here actually will make lesser profit because they have charged less price. So charging more or charging less is not beneficial for a firm under the situation of perfect competitive scenario. So the profit maximizing price for a perfectly competitive firm is the price which is the market equilibrium price. Market equilibrium price is the solution for the first question where it is asked the profit maximizing price. Now profit maximizing quantity. The second question. Let us look at the second question. Find what will be the profit maximizing quantity. So profit maximizing quantity's condition is the MR or marginal revenue, which is equal to the marginal cost. Now in this case, look at the information. The MC information we do have. We know that what is the marginal cost. The marginal cost information is given here and the price of the product is also given. Now we know that under perfect competition, we know that the price is equal to the marginal revenue. Why price is equal to marginal revenue? Because if the firm wants to sell one additional unit, what is the amount of revenue he can earn? This is nothing but the price, because he will sell that additional product at the market prevailing price only. So in this case, the condition for the perfect competition is that the individual firms, the price that he will face will be equal to the marginal revenue. So here we can write that P equal to 60, and that is also the marginal revenue. These two information if I combine and we plot it at the profit maximizing condition, then we can write as the MR, which is 60 equal to 0.4 Q. Let us solve this. Now if we solve this equation for Q, we can write it as 60 divided by 0.4, or we can write it as 150. So the second question also we solved, that the profit maximizing output will be 150. Now let us solve the third question. What is the third question? That what will be the total revenue? Let us write this total revenue as TR. And what will be the formula for total revenue? Total revenue is nothing but the price multiplied by the quantity. Quantity already we have identified. What is the profit maximizing output or quantity? That is 150. So here we can write 150 at the place of quantity. And what is the information of price? Price information is already given, that is 60. So we need to multiply 60 by the 150. The value will be 9,000. So the firm will earn 9,000 as the total revenue. Now we are going to solve the second numerical problem on perfectly competitive market. So here the information that is given in the question is the marginal cost function. Marginal cost function, let us write the marginal cost function, that is 0.4 Q plus 2. In the previous problem, we had only one term which was associated with the marginal cost, and that term was associated with level of output. But here we have two terms in the marginal cost function. One is constant term and the other term which is associated with the level of output or Q. So if there is no production event, then the marginal cost in this particular case, then the marginal cost will be 2 if we have a situation where the Q is equal to 0. Got it? And if the Q is equal to 1, say for example if Q is equal to 1, then the value of the marginal cost will be 2 plus 0.4, or you can write it as 2.4. This is just for the discussion. I have written this section. This is not related to solve the problem that is given at here. Now the second thing is that the market price of the product is rupees 60. So in this case, as I said, that perfectly competitive firm is a price taker. So this 60 rupees is basically the firm will charge for all units that he wants to sell. If he wants to sell 50 units, then also he will charge 60 rupees per unit. If the firm wants to sell 70 units, then also the firm will charge 60 rupees per unit. Why? Because this 60 rupees is nothing but the market prevailing price that was determined by the equilibrium point of market demand and market supply. Now the question is here, first question, what is the profit maximizing price? Perfectly competitive firm is basically a price taker. So he is price taker. Now in this market, suppose this is the market quantity and this is the market price. Now this is the market demand curve, market demand, so I am writing DM, and this is the market supply curve, so I am writing SM. In the market, what is the prevailing price, that is the equilibrium price, which is given here as 60. So in this case, if the firm charges something more than 50, let's say for example the firm is charging 65 rupees. Now 65 rupees if the firm charges, then and market prevailing price is 60 rupees, then the consumers will definitely not come to this firm because the same product is available to its competitor at a lesser price. So definitely the firm under perfect competition, they have no incentive to charge higher than the market prevailing price. On contrary, if the firm reduces the price, say for example the firm is charging 50 rupees, now definitely the consumers will come to this firm since he is charging less. But at the same time, his competitors also can reduce the price, and if the competitors reduces the price, then that he will make lesser profit because now the per unit price is 50, but he cannot make a huge profit out of it because his competitor will also reduce the price of the product. So in this case, this firm as well as his competitors all will start making lesser profit. So there is no incentive for the firm also to reduce the profit. So in this case, what will be the profit maximizing price for this firm? The profit maximizing price for this firm will be the market prevailing price. Clear? So now we will move to the next problem. What is the profit maximizing quantity? Profit maximizing quantity, if you see, the profit maximizing condition first we need to understand. The profit maximizing condition for perfectly competitive firm states that the marginal revenue must be equal to the marginal cost. Now the information on the marginal cost is already given to us. This is the information on the marginal cost. If we can identify the marginal revenue and equate these two, then by solving the equation we can find out the profit maximizing quantity. So what will be the marginal revenue? Now when we studied the theory of the profit, there we understood that for perfectly competitive firm, the marginal revenue is nothing but the market price. What is the logic behind it? The logic is that if the perfectly competitive firm wants to sell an additional unit of output, then he must charge the price which is the market price for the product. So here in this case, then marginal revenue will be nothing but rupees 60. So in the profit maximizing condition, let us put the values. So MC, value of the MC was 0.4 Q plus 2, which is equal to the marginal revenue. Marginal revenue here is 60, and let us solve this equation for Q. So we can write it like 0.4 Q equal to 60 minus 2 or 58. So 0.4 Q equal to 58. Now let us solve it for Q. So Q will be equal to 58 by 0.4 or Q equal to 145. So we have solved the second question as well, that the profit maximizing output will be 145. Now let us move to the third question. Third question asks that what will be the total revenue of the firm. We know the formula for total revenue, or TR, is nothing but the price multiplied with the quantity. We have identified the price, the profit maximizing price or the market price for the product. So let us write the market price. The market price is 60 here. And what is the profit maximizing output? We already identified, that is nothing but 145. So if we multiply, we can get the value 8700. So this will be the solution of the third question, that the total revenue of the firm will be 8700 or 8700 rupees. Now we will solve the third numerical problem on perfectly competitive market. Let us look at the information. It is written that the total cost function of a perfectly competitive firm is TC equal to 2Q square plus 4Q plus 2. So first let us write the total cost function. Total cost function is TC equal to 2Q square plus 4Q plus 2. Now if you look at this function, you can see that we have a component which is 2 that is not associated with the term Q. What does it mean? That means irrespective of the amount of production, these two will be associated with the total cost. Or we can write it as, if we have Q equal to 0, means we are not producing anything, then the total cost will be 2 into 0 square plus 4 into 0 plus 2. Now 0 square means 0. So here 2 into 0 square means 2 into 0. So we can write it here 0 plus 0 plus 2. So the value of the total cost will be 2. So what does this do? This 2 is nothing but the fixed cost for this perfectly competitive firm. Now this is not required in this problem to find out the solution, but I have shared it for your understanding. Now let us move to the next information. The next information says that total revenue function is TR equal to Q. So the revenue function that is given is total revenue. The revenue function is 60Q. So these two informations we do have. Now the question, what will be the profit maximizing price and quantity and the total revenue of the firm? Now in this case, profit maximizing price, as we know that for the perfectly competitive firm, the profit maximizing price is nothing but the market price. But the profit maximizing quantity we can identify. Since here we do not have the information that what is the profit maximizing price or the market prevailing price, we will solve this problem with the profit maximizing output condition. Profit we denote it by pi. Profit maximizing condition states that marginal revenue is equal to the marginal cost. So let us first identify the marginal revenue. So marginal revenue, formula for marginal revenue is what? Formula for marginal revenue is nothing but change in total revenue divided by change in Q, or in other words we can write it as the first order derivative for the total revenue. So here if we take the first order derivative, we can write the marginal revenue as 60. Why 60? Because first order derivative we are taking. Here 60 is the constant term we have written, and when we are taking the derivative and the value is Q, that means we are taking the derivative with respect to Q. So here we will write the power of Q. Power of Q is what? Nothing but 1. So we will write here 1, and then we will adjust the power of Q. How we will make this adjustment? That we deduct from the power 1. So 1 minus 1. So here it will be 60 into Q to the power 0. Now anything to the power 0 is equal to 1. So we can write it here 60. MR equal to 60. Now we need to find out the value of the MC. To find out value of the MC, we need to first write the formula for MC. MC is nothing but the change in total cost due to the change in the output, or the first derivative of the total cost. So here MC will be equal to, remember here we are taking the derivative with respect to Q. So the terms that is associated with Q, only those terms we will take the derivatives. Rest of the terms we will not consider. If it is not associated with Q, we will consider the term as constant. So first term, let us look at the first term. First term is 2Q square. So first we will write the constant, then power of the Q. Power of the Q is 2, then adjustment in the power of Q. So how we will do the adjustment? That the power of Q we will write first, then we will deduct 1 from it. So 2 minus 1. Then the second term. Let us look at the second term, 4Q. So here first we will write the constant. Here the power, it is written Q. Q means power is 1. So here we will write 4 into 1, and then Q to the power 1 minus 1. That means adjustment in the power of Q. And then we will write the derivative for the third term. Third term, what is written in the third term? 2. 2 is a constant. So if we take the derivative of a constant term, that we know that it is 0. So it will be 0. So now let us simplify these terms. So here 2 into 2 means 4. Q to the power, here 2 minus 1. Here you look at here. 2 minus 1. 2 minus 1 means 1. So Q to the power 1, we can write it also as 4Q. Here 1 minus 1. 1 minus 1 means 0. Anything to the power 0 means it is equal to 1. So we can write it here 4Q plus 4. And the third term is 0, so we need not to write it. So the value of MC that we got here for this problem is 4Q plus 4. Now we need to plot the value of the MR and the value of the MC that we have derived in the profit maximizing condition. 4Q plus 4, which is our MC, this is our MC, that must be equal to 60, which is our MR. This is our MR. Let us solve this for Q. So we can write here 4Q equal to 60 minus 4 or 56. So Q will be 56 divided by 4, or we can write it as 14. So our profit maximizing output is 14. Now we need to identify the profit maximizing price. So profit maximizing price we can identify from the total revenue function. So what is the total revenue function given in this problem? That is total revenue equal to 60Q. Formula for total revenue, we know that total revenue is nothing but price multiplied by Q, or if I take this two information together, I can write it as PQ equal to 6Q. Now in this case, if we cancel the Q on both the sides, then the value of P or price will be 60. So this is the profit maximizing price that we receive from this sum. Now let us look at the total revenue. So total revenue is nothing but the price multiplied by the quantity. Now in this case, what is the value of the price we got? The value of the price is 60. And what is the value of the profit maximizing quantity? That is nothing but 40. So if I multiply this two, the value is coming as 840. So the total revenue for this problem will be 2840.